now that we've completed the roof, I pulled the bed system back out, and one thing I had to fix is down in the rear air conditioning unit. If you can see that little kind of gold piece there, that little, I can't even remember what it's called now, but that was going bad, so we were just getting warm air up top, and so that's replaced. We now get cool air. And so now it's time to get some counters done and the system that goes underneath the bed. So here's another extremely expensive piece of plywood. And then we've got the front piece done for, goes in front of the bed unit. This is what the wall, that's sort of when the bed's collapsed, that's the wall you see up front. So that one's done. What I'm doing with the cardboard here is I'm making little cardboard cutouts. I go in and make a template, and then this piece, basically I just mark out my template, and then I can try it in place where the shelf goes. And once I've got it to where I like it, I can cut the piece of ply that is going to get finished for the countertops. And so that is what I'm working on now. And then if you come over here, it's Christmas time in the shop. This is all of the control units, the new control units I was going to use. So let's go really quick, it's going to be fast. So I was going to use a very small little battery powered thing to run a refrigerator, which is this little power station right here. Unfortunately, even though it's rated for the right power, it'll only run on AC. It'll run the refrigerator just fine on AC, but not on DC. Now, the problem with that is those units won't charge at the same time you're using AC, only DC. So I could only, even though it would last probably long enough, I can't recharge with the solar at the same time I'm using it, so it would just run out of battery. So now, got a 100 amp hour battery here, lithium ion battery set. We've got a charge controller, a pure sine wave inverter, and I've actually got a battery monitor as well. This is the sink. I'll show you guys really quick. This is kind of cool. So it's got a glass counter. These actually came with three glass countertops with it. When you open it up, you have the sink with a faucet, and you also have a little stove. And then I had to go through about 2 or 3 of these to figure out which ones would fit. A little drain. So that's what that's going to do. This is the Porta Potty system that's going in there. ARB awning. Well, awning's already on the van, but this is the what do they call? Deluxe awning room with floor. And that goes on. And a lot more to do, but we're getting there. So it actually looks like I've done nothing now that I've taken the bed system out. But the bed system comes out pretty easily. It's right here. And we'll build the bottom system here, this little back end system that's for storage. And then the cabinets, the 2 benches that go in for where you sit to eat. And then the countertop with the kitchen. All to come. All right. What a mess. Let me just show you. Here's what I'm doing. So I made a couple of stencils. This one looks really funny. I decided to make the one counter into 2 pieces because I was afraid of this piece being so narrow with this whole counter that it would break it. So I made the rear one, and I'll make that one. This one's kind of an interesting one. Let me show you. When the door shuts, I wanted a rounded counter here, but I wanted the counter to go straight back. So it was one piece. It kind of looks funny when it's out. So this is that's the stencil for that piece right there. And this is what that piece looks like. It's just kind of a funky little piece, but it fits close. I gotta sand down the edges a little bit just to make it fit a little bit better, and so the little lights will fit inside the side of it. And that is a go. And then the one larger counter back there needs to be built, and then the cabinets. Woo! Lots of wood, lots of sawdust, making a mess in my shop. Also, the refrigerator's working, so it's been working great. I put it on the there's a minimum and maximum setting for how much energy it uses. It's 38 degrees right now. It's been set at I had it at maximum, I set it at minimum, and I had to test it with something, so we've got, you know, ice cold monster. If you guys want to become a sponsor, that'd be awesome. All right, after all these cardboard cutouts and cutting a few pieces, we have got some counters. I haven't done the cabinets yet, of course, but just counters are setting in here. So we've got the countertop here, and then the countertop that goes from this side forward, and this will be where the sink goes, and the usable counter space for the kitchen, and then there'll be a cupboard underneath the cabinet here, and a little bit of space behind the driver's seat there, so that we've got, you see, a chair or something like that back there after this cabinet's in. All right, that is countertops. All right, next thing we got to do is cut out the sink hole for the big part of the counter, and so that's what I'm doing here, using an old time jigsaw. Holy smokes, this little sucker is old, but it's getting the job done. We're getting through there. It's gonna take a while because this is really a old little saw, but get that sink cut out, get the sink in, and get ready to do some not counters, but we're gonna do cabinets next. All right, a little bit of progress on the bed system. So we did some shelving, we did some we cut out the sink, we've got the shelving, we got the counters done, but I needed to get the box done that goes underneath the bed, and that was next. And this is what we're doing now. We're carpeting it. This is with soundproof, it's acoustic carpet. Kind of cut down on any of the noise in the van as well, so if you don't have noise coming off the wood. Anyways, that's what we're doing today. All right, guys, let me show you what we've done with the van today. So today was all about building out the power system from the solar panels. So you guys have seen the solar panels. Let's go here, see, right into the sunlight. Let's go around the other side. All right, sorry about that. All right, so here's what we got. We got solar panels up top, and we've got two 100-watt solar panels. Those are coming down and powering our Renogy charge controller. This is a PPT charge controller that is charging our 100 amp hour lithium ion battery pack, that is then powering our pure sine wave inverter. This is 1500 watt, 3000 watt peak, and it's also powering a 12 volt fuse panel for 12 volt accessories. We have a 200 watt fuse, and then a fuse bank here that all the negatives travel through, so you can monitor just how much power you're utilizing, because a lithium ion will always show a high power until it's actually depleted. So that runs up into the battery monitoring system that will program at full capacity the battery, and then monitor how much power is being used, so it can kind of give you an indication of just how much you might have left. On the side here we have our PowerWise inverter power on, so remote power on here. And then as you probably saw on that control panel, we've got a for the pure sine wave inverter, we have it unplugged right here. I'm going to put two outlets in, so that one will get plugged in there. It's going to power this outlet, and then I have another one that's going to come out into this cabinet that's going to be here, and then I'm going to have a second on the other side of the cabinet there. And that's where we are today. So we're getting there, guys. Still waiting for the countertop material to show up. We'll be able to put the bed system back in here very shortly, and then we're going to get into building our little settee there with some chairs and little benches right here. Be some pretty good sized benches, and then when the bed pulls out, they'll cover that up. Under this bench, I think on this side there will be a flip up for a porta potty, and you'll have your toilet there, and then the counter comes out here. Counters are built, but they're just not in. waiting for that material to show up. Anyways, that is our update for this week, guys. I am still hard at work getting this stuff done. Here's the rest of the bed, the slide out bed system, the sink, and I don't think I've shown you guys this yet, but this is a sink and stove combo unit. If I can open it up, oh, come on. And so we got a sink and stove all in one. What else do we have left? There's the Porta Potty. That's the outside tent. I'll have to show you guys what that looks like. I don't even know yet. And our bed right here. And this is the top part of the bed system that goes on top of this. And we're also going to build in some little panels that go here to cover those spots, and these with the same material here. This gets covered with the bed, so you're just going to see kind of this black area here. One of the things I have to do is I have to secure this battery. So I've got to make some kind of a mount in there to mount that. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and I'll show you guys what all is going there. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that like button if you like what you see and you want to see more. And then I don't know, did I say subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. Bye. Well, let's go around to what I'm working on now and what you're going to see next, and that is the counters are still, I'm waiting on the tops for the material to top the counters. That's supposed to arrive tomorrow. So I need to get the cabinets and the bench seats done to be ready for that. So what I've been doing, and I spent a few hours yesterday, is I kind of had a plan for all of this stuff, but the plans sort of go out the window as you start adding things. You're like, oh, that's really not going to fit very practically. So I wanted to move some things around a bit. And so under this bench seat, we'll have a porta potty. You'll lift the bench seat up and you'll have a porta potty there. Underneath the sink, I was looking at what tankage I'm going to use there and if they'll fit underneath the sink. And I've got a right angle drain, which would be really cool because that'll actually fit between the two tanks. I just have to figure out the door, and then that'll drain into this 5-gallon jug here. This 5-gallon jug is going to be used for water, which will come off of this bottom plug here. I still have a lot of storage over here, so I may do a drawer system or just extra storage for groceries and things like that. First thing I'm working on is this side here where there's a bench seat going in, and let me show you what I'm doing as far as templates. So the templates, I create out of cardboard, and what I did is I traced out a template for the bottom of the bench seat, because I want a floor. When you open this bench seat up, you're going to have storage in here, and so that'll be the floor for the bench seat, and of course there will be a seat in here. So I'm making my templates out of cardboard and then tracing that out onto for a floor. This one's going to be 1/2 inch, and so we come around to the other side of the van. I've got my 1/2 inch sitting here. I trace out my design, and then I'm going to cut that out, and that'll be the floor, and then I can start building the rest of the bench seat in. And that's kind of what's coming up in the next video, so stay tuned.